welcome back to episode 4 of the PondCast. We just finished round 1 of the playoffs, so today we're going to go through how each of us did, and then we're going to look through our predictions for round 2, our updated cup winners, and I guess we'll talk about the firing of, what's his name? Todd Reardon's. So who wants to,
Kevin.
who wants to start with how they did in the first round of the playoffs?
Um, I could start because I did the worst by so bad. So in the first round, I kind of did the thing where I picked mostly lower seeds, thinking it would be a big upset year because the big break and I don't know. I just thought random things would happen. So the only series that I got right were Vegas over Chicago and Philly over Montreal. So the first seed beating the bottom seed. Um, Arizona, that one was never going to happen. That was kind of wishful thinking. I don't know why I picked Arizona. But as for the other ones, I'm actually pretty shocked. I guess I should have seen Islanders over the Caps, but I genuinely did believe in Calgary, St. Louis, Columbus, Carolina. I actually thought those would happen. So I went 2 for 8. Still got Vegas to the finals and winning it all. So hoping that happens now because that's the only thing in my bracket going right. But yeah, went 2 for 8. Anyone want to go next?
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
go.
go. Yeah.
Okay, well, I went 5 for 8. I thought there was 3 series which were clear, obvious ones. I thought the Arizona, both the Philly and the Vegas ones were obvious. And then I thought the rest of them were kind of 50-50, so I kind of just picked who I wanted to see win. I have Tampa winning it all. Tampa looked actually good today, even though they lost. But we could get into that later.
Yeah, I went 4 for 8. I kind of did the same thing. Just I kind of picked who I wanted to see move on, and so I had Colorado, Vancouver out west, and then Tampa and Boston out east. And my bracket still has Boston winning it, so yeah, we could get into that as well.
Okay,
Ethan?
I did the best. I had 6 for 8. The only ones I got wrong were Calgary and Carolina. Carolina kind of shocked me a bit because they looked really good in the play-ins. Calgary did too because Dallas, their offense wasn't too good, but now their top line's buzzing and they're doing pretty great. Um, my thing is pretty much unchanged though because I had Calgary and Carolina out in the second round either way. But
Nice.
yeah, we can move on to our predictions for round 2. Who wants to start us off?
Well, let's start with that Vancouver series, and I want to hear Hank's.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So just for context, this is recorded after Vegas and Vancouver have already played game 1.
Yeah, so the only games
Yeah.
that haven't gone through yet are Philly and the Islanders.
Yeah, so we saw the Colorado series yesterday, and now Vancouver today. So yeah, Vancouver just played game 1 against Vegas and got destroyed 5-0. And I mean, I don't know how to feel because I'm obviously it's just kind of pathetic to watch your team go out and maybe have the worst performance of anyone so far this year. But uh, I mean, it's no surprise that they lost. I'm not shocked at all. Vegas is way better in every aspect of the game, and they absolutely should beat Vancouver. But and also Vancouver. I mean, I'm kind of just I don't know if proud's the right word, but just happy with how well they've done so far already. Beating St. Louis is a pretty big accomplishment, and we're really not equipped for a big playoff run. And I'm pretty happy with what they've done so far. But I mean, it's just kind of sad to see your team move on and then get absolutely crushed and maybe proven why they shouldn't be that far along. It just they looked like boys playing with men, and well, that sounded wrong, but uh, but yeah, Vegas just better. Mark Stone's maybe the greatest player alive. I don't know. Quinn Hughes sucked. Not
Yeah.
much to say. Not much to
So,
say.
so I was the other one that watched it. We could talk about the officiating. I thought Vancouver against St. Louis was they're very good on the first couple of games on the power play and on the penalty kill, and then against Vegas, I kind of felt like they didn't get some calls, but Vegas was I literally felt like Vegas in the first round weren't even trying that hard. Like they knew they were gonna beat Chicago, and then
Mhm.
against Vancouver, like they were, like a couple of shifts where it was that first line plus Schmidt on, like they were like, they're like, we're gonna score this shift, and they did.
Yeah, no,
Um,
there's a few moments where you kind of see it coming, like you couldn't
Quinn
stop them.
Hughes, Antoine Roussel got a 10-minute
Well,
misconduct from
that's the
like,
thing I still don't understand. What is that? Like
bro. The,
what?
the refs, the refs were like, okay, like I don't even fucking know what that was.
Wait, you
But that
don't
seems
understand
like
what the 10-minute misconduct is?
No,
no,
no, of
no, no.
course.
Like what was the call? What like what for what? I
I
don't.
think he was just trying to he kept trying to fight Reeves and Reeves didn't want to. So they were like, just go sit in the box for 10 minutes.
Dude, that's
Yeah, but
not
that's like
10 minutes.
that's not a penalty. That's not even that's a weak 2-minute call. Like for
Well, it
unsportsmanlike
wasn't,
use,
yeah,
so.
but it wasn't like an actual penalty. Like they
No, I
weren't
know,
short-handed.
but it's like
And it's not
what do
like
you?
Roussel's like a valuable asset that you want out there to score
Dude,
goals.
he's probably the best player tonight for the
Yeah,
Canucks.
he was for sure. He's a good. He's a third line like good winger, but also like that's playoff hockey. Like it was Reeves and Roussel was the most exciting thing of this, I think today, of them going at it, and they just threw him in the box.
Did
I
you guys
don't
see what
get it.
happened to Besser? I forgot who it was. They
Yeah, the
I
injury.
didn't see the hit, but I saw
Yo,
people talking about
okay,
it.
okay. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I really don't think that was intentional. He kind of spun him around. He should have let go, but like he kind of like he wasn't trying to land on him.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
And Besser, like he played the third. I think he's good.
Yeah, no, he's fine. It was just, I mean,
That could be
I
a
don't know.
penalty. It's probably an interference, if anything.
Yeah, it's just, it's kind of this whole playoffs like today for sure. It
Yeah,
came out in a big way, but they're calling a lot of weak calls. I think for sure in that Calgary series was brutal. It's
yeah,
just it kind of it's not fun to watch. I
yeah,
think 7, 8 power plays in a game. Like they're
yeah. That's
supposed to be valuable for a reason. That you get
yeah.
like 2, maybe 3. You know?
I was about to say that same thing because like power plays, it's like it's a 1 in 5 chance pretty much, and like the other 4 times it's gonna be like just somebody icing the puck down, which is the worst play in hockey, the most boring play in hockey, and that happens like way too often.
Yeah.
Like, dude, even that like the Canucks' first power play was like some nothing call. Anyways, we don't need to get into specifics. We can move on.
Okay,
Ethan,
well, I just
Oh,
wanna. You guys all agree that Vegas is gonna beat Vancouver, and
yeah, we could transition this into our picks for this series. I'd say I think it's too reactionary to think Vegas will just like kill them every game from now on. I think Canucks will have like some rallying back. So I'd say Vegas in 6. Like I still think they're gonna win it, but I think Canucks can steal a few games.
Hank.
Hank.
Yeah. I think the series kind of is all decided in game 2. How Vancouver bounces back. I mean, I fully expect them to at least win, hopefully a game or two, make it a close series. But yeah, I mean, Vegas is they're better, and they proved it today over and over. So
Okay, I want Ethan to go because I think I'm a minority pick here.
I actually agree. I think Game 2 is pretty much how it's decided because when they played the Wild and they got shut out, I think they did really well in Game 2 to like respond back to it. So if the Canucks lose Game 2, I think they're gonna get swept. If I'm being completely honest, but if they win Game 2, I think they'll probably win another one after that. So I think Vegas in 6 though.
I was gonna say Vegas in 4. I don't think the Canucks. I think the Canucks are gonna score like 2 or 3 goals.
I didn't
Yeah.
even, I didn't watch the game, so like I just saw the
Like
score and I just saw them get killed. So.
like Vegas looked like when Vegas's first line is on, like I thought when the Blues first line is on, it's like my gosh, this is like the best line in hockey. And then you watch Vegas, it's
Dude,
like
the crazy thing about Vegas is like I still don't know if their top line is the Stone line or like the Marchessault line because they're both so good.
dude, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, and Shea Theodore and Schmidt are fantastic.
yeah,
yeah, Shea Theodore is one of the best defensemen in the league, honestly.
Yeah. I thought he's probably the best defenseman in the series.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, and Vegas. The other thing about them is, ever since they came into the league, they've destroyed Vancouver. Like I know it's regular season, but they're kind of like another one for Vancouver's Winnipeg in that way, where they're just a bad match. It seems like
Interesting.
because they have good D. So
all right.
Yeah.
Next series, unless anyone else anything else they want to say or add.
No, we can move on.
All right, so Colorado and Dallas. This one actually shocked me because I thought Colorado was gonna do really well, but that Dallas also shocked me when they beat Calgary. So I have no idea. I chose these guys to win last year, and now they're decided to like try, and their top line actually woke up. So I have no idea how this year is gonna go. But I think if Dallas like shuts down the Colorado top line, then they're pretty fucked. Because I think Colorado also needs like a lot of power plays to like help them.
I still think Colorado will win the series. I know like Dallas won game 1. That actually shocked me too. I thought Colorado was going to kill Dallas. I just think Colorado is a better team. Like Dallas has a lot of underrated forwards. It feels like that team. A lot of people don't talk about it other than Sagan and Ben when there are a lot of really good players on that team. But I still think like Colorado sort of sees this as like a year that they kind of have to do well, and I think they're capable of bouncing back from a game like that. Like this is obviously not at all a fair comparison, but after Arizona won one game, Colorado was like, okay, now I'm pissed, right? And they just came back and won like 7-1. So I think Colorado can still win it. I'd say Avalanche in 6.
Hank?
You know, Colorado's a really good team, but I think people kind of underestimate Dallas a little bit. Like obviously they have problems scoring, but when their offense is clicking, they're pretty much as dangerous as anyone. I mean, they went to game 7 last year against the Blues in the second round, and they almost came out with that. Like the Blues probably outplayed them, but they almost went to the third round, and I think they'll do it again. I think they're going to beat Colorado in 6 or 7. And because really, like Colorado's so good, but they remind me of Colorado's kind of what Edmonton wishes they were, where everything revolves around Nathan McKinnon, but they just have more support around him. And Nathan McKinnon's amazing, but I think in that first game, Dallas was pushing hard, and it seemed like Sagan was basically, I mean, he was unreal. He was the best he's ever been, and they still were able to just contain him enough. And I think they'll be able to just squeak it out and go to the third round.
I think like Dallas kind of shocked me how good they were against Calgary. Calgary is, the truck injury and Hamnick not being there kind of sucked. But Colorado looks like, Colorado kicked Arizona's ass. Arizona, like, not to go on a mini rant here, Arizona, that, like, if you're Coyotes fans, that was so embarrassing. That was, like, pathetic. You guys didn't even deserve to be in the playoffs. Like that was seriously dreadful, man.
Yeah.
Bro, you might be a little bit harsher than the coach. I feel like the coach is the real problem there. Like,
Really?
I think he's awful.
Dude,
He's just not offensive.
Yeah, it's
at
not
all.
like that's a team that
But
should be scoring goals with Hall and Kessel. Like Hall's a pretty good playmaker, and he can like generate plays. And like,
See, I would disagree with that though, to be honest. Just because I don't think they have the offensive weapons. Like they don't have a center.
yeah, that's
Like
what I was
Nick
thinking.
Schmaltz is your number one center, just won't get it done.
Yeah.
And yeah, Hall and Kessler, and they should be scoring more than they do already. I agree, but I think Tocchet actually is probably a good asset for them because they play such a good team defense, like almost like Columbus in a way. But yeah, I don't know how you fix that. They sucked.
Anyways, I think Colorado seems like a team where it's like things are clicking and they might win the cup this year. If I had to like, redo my bracket, I'd probably have them winning. But so
Do
I
you
think
think they've
Colorado,
got this series? Yeah.
yeah, I think it's going 7. I think like I think all series going 7 except the Vancouver one, which I think is going to be a sweep.
Oh my god.
Which is,
Yeah.
dude,
It's
Vancouver-
fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
Like,
we could go to the East now.
All right.
Wait, what was Ethan's pick for that?
Oh yeah.
I am actually really like, I don't know who to choose. I feel like I kind of want the Stars to win just because I wanted them to win last year, but I wouldn't mind seeing Colorado. But I'm gonna go with Dallas in 7, just because I like their I don't know, I like their roster, and I think their offense is actually starting to show up. So we'll see how it goes throughout the rest of the series.
Alright.
In the East, I want to start with the Flyers and the Islanders. I honestly don't care about this series.
It's interesting because the Flyers Montreal series may have been the most boring one if it wasn't for the Islanders Cap series. So these two,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it
this
is.
might-
They're just like, I don't know what to say about either team. Like, the Islanders are defensive, but the Flyers, I don't know if they're offensive or defensive. Like,
yeah,
what kind of team are they?
yeah, they played pretty brutally against Montreal. Dude, it went 6 games against Montreal.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's true.
Carter Hart had 2 shutouts in that series. So I can't see the Islanders winning the cup. I have trouble believing that if they went down like 2 goals or 3 goals in the first period that they have any chance at coming back. I really don't think they could score more than like 3 goals in a game, or like 4 goals. I just don't think they're that good. And I think the Flyers are gonna beat them, but I do think it's going 7.
I also think it's gonna go to 7. I think it's like, honestly, this series, for me, this might actually be the hardest one to predict, just because I feel like I know the least about these two teams out of all these series. And it felt like Philly was like a super offensive team until that Philly Montreal series happened. And I guess you could argue that was because they're up against Carey Price that they weren't scoring a lot of goals. But it just even felt like their attack at times was just not on point. So, and the Islanders, like, obviously Washington, like, didn't have Backstrom for most of the series, and John Carlson wasn't 100%. But I mean, for the Islanders to beat the Capitals in 5 is still really impressive. So it's honestly really close for me. I think I'd also say Philly in 7, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Islanders got it in 7. I just think it will go 7 games.
Yeah. This is such a weird one to predict because I think the Flyers the Flyers should win. But the Flyers have a weird I think they're so weird offensively. Where they're really deep, but their top guys can just disappear sometimes. And against Montreal, even though Voracek put up a couple points and Giroux and everything, like they're kind of invisible. And I honestly think the Islanders might just pull it off in probably 6 games, I think. Because I think they're just gonna shut them down just like they're basically Montreal where they have no offense, pure D, good goaltending, except they're better than Montreal. And they still have Matt Barzal and Beauvillier lighting it up. So I think Barry Trotz might be able to just pull it off, but I'm not looking forward to watching this, to be honest. Like, I'm going to, but man, I might have to wait till the 3rd or something.
I actually had the Flyers like going to the finals, but like Washington in their series, only Oshie, Kuznetsov, and Ovi scored a goal, and I don't think Philly has like any player that can do like what those 3 guys do. So if the Islanders actually do shut down like their entire team, I think they could take the series, and they're really defensive. So I'm actually gonna go with the Islanders in 6 for this one. Even though I had Philly all the way to the finals, but Philly just didn't look that convincing against Montreal, and the Islanders did great against the Capitals. So yeah.
And this is like the least enthusiastic round matchup discussion. And, like, none of us care at all.
It's just
who
so
wins
boring.
this
Like
series.
I just don't care. Like I don't even know if I'll watch the games.
I want Philly to win because I like Carter Hart.
I do like
kinda
Carter
it.
Hart too.
I'd
Philly's-
rather see Philly go.
Yeah, they're
But-
slightly more entertaining. I will say I do think either of these teams, whoever advances, is going to lose to Tampa or Boston.
Yeah, this Tampa Boston.
Yep.
We're going to it right now. Very exciting. Who wants to start us with that shit?
Did you guys watch the game one?
I watched
didn't.
like the first period.
I only caught the end.
Dude, it was a great game. Like it was probably the most physical, the most like back and forth game. Even though Tampa kind of scored 2 at like kind of the end. Still, what a fantastic game. I think it's definitely going 7. Even though Tampa lost, I think the fact that Stamkos may come back mid series, as well as I have trouble believing Halak can play that well consistently. I think Tampa's going to win it in 7. Although I will say the Bruins with I hate the name of the perfection line, but that first line, they scored 2 goals today, and it was like tic tac toe. They could not. You can't make a mistake against that first line.
That power play goal by Pasternak, I think it was. That was dude, that power play was on point.
And that Marshy goal, that's crazy. But I do think Tampa's going to win.
I'd say this was also a really close one, and I think I have a bias because I hate Boston so much as a Leafs fan. I honestly just don't want to see them make it further, but I think I've bet against Boston too many times. I just think they're more I think they're just as skilled as Tampa, and then slightly more physical that will push them further on. So I think Boston I also think it's going to go 7. I'd say Boston in 7 is my pick.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Boston won game 1, so their odds are pretty good. But I mean, this is by far the most, well, maybe not most important, but most entertaining series for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I lean towards Boston. I think it'll also probably go game 7, and I really hope it does.
Yeah, it's a great series.
I mean, the loss of Stamkos is pretty big, and it's always kind of tricky when someone like that comes back into the lineup. And I mean, I hope he does, but I guess we'll have to see. But I just think Boston, they've just done it so many times. It seems like they just know how to get it done every time, no matter what. Like even if they're losing, last 10 minutes of the game, they just push so hard. And I thought Tampa looked so good against Columbus, and I thought maybe they were gonna pull it off, but I still have Boston in 7. What about you, Ethan?
Fuck Boston, Tampa in 7. I hate Boston so much. I didn't watch the game either, so I can't really say my opinions, but I really like Tampa. And they went to the conference final without Stamkos 3 years ago or something, which is actually a long time ago. So I guess, I think whoever wins this series is gonna win the cup, though.
I agree.
Whoa, that's a big claim. We'll get to that in a second, right?
Yeah, sure. Let's just get to it right now. That's all.
Sure. So your pick was Tampa in 7?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna choose Tampa and Vegas in the finals, and I'll always Tampa in 6 or 7.
So we're doing cup finalists now.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I just want to say Vegas. I think their path is too easy. So when they get to the finals, I think Tampa will fuck them up or something. I don't know. the path they have is so easy. Chicago, then Vancouver. Those are 2 really easy teams, and then whoever comes out of Colorado, Dallas shouldn't be too hard for Vegas either way. But I think Tampa will beat them.
Yeah, my finalists were Vegas winning the cup over Carolina, which now cannot happen because Carolina was killed by Boston. So I'm going to go with the guys who beat Carolina. I'll say Vegas, Boston in the finals. And instinctively, I want to say Boston would beat Vegas really easily, but I'm going to say Vegas wins because my bracket says it, and I want the money that you guys owe me. So Vegas winning it over Boston in 6.
Hank?
Oh.
You go ahead. Okay, fine. I think I do agree the Boston Tampa. I think Tampa's gonna win that. And I think Vegas is gonna get beat by Colorado. So I think I'm gonna have a Colorado. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna flip that. I'm gonna have Dallas against Tampa in the final. Mason Dixie.
Holy shit, bro! That's what I wanted last year. The Stars. I feel like the colors just look nice. Green versus blue. So I don't even know.
It's both 2 most southern teams in the NHL. That'd be kind of insane. Yeah, I think Tampa's gonna win it.
Yeah. I have Boston out of the East still. I'm gonna stick with them. And out of the West, I'm gonna actually also go with Dallas. I don't know why. I think they're gonna. I think they're kind of that like they have that magical
Bro, that was me
thing.
last year, and then they just sucked donkey dick. Like I don't know what the fuck happened, but like their top line like didn't care or something. But now they actually are looking pretty good, so I wouldn't be too surprised if they did get to the finals. So.
Yeah. And they have that. Didn't they have a coaching change earlier this year too?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's always a factor. Eh? Like, isn't there a
that's a
huge list
Pittsburgh
of
effect, dude.
finalists? Isn't there a huge list of finalists that changed their coach halfway through?
St. Louis did it.
St. Louis,
St. Louis,
Pittsburgh did
Pittsburgh,
it once.
and there's another one I think not too long ago. Maybe not Boston, but I don't know.
Speaking of
Whatever.
coaches,
Wait, what are our finalists? I just want to like remember them. I picked Vegas. Ethan picked
I got Vegas.
Tampa.
Oh yeah, Tampa.
I have Tampa as well.
Boston.
And then Boston. So 3 East, 1 West. I'm the only one who picked the Western champ. Damn. That's all right. Anyways, moving on.
Do you guys want to talk about Reardon? Cause I don't really care about this guy.
Yeah, I don't got much to say about, other than the fact that this dude played in the NHL and he actually looks like Kevin Malone from The Office. He also is like a terrible coach, and he really should get fired. And there's plenty of better options. I think Laviolette,
There's
Gerard,
a lot. Bruce Boudreaux
or
could
Babcock
turn too.
are all like good
Yeah.
fits for that team.
He's been the coach for 2 years, right? This season and last season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How did they do last season? They lost in the first round, right?
yes, in
Carolina,
7 to
in 7.
Carolina.
I just think honestly, this is not so much Reardon as it is the Caps management for not bringing back Trotz when they should have.
Oh,
No,
for
he
sure.
wanted to leave though.
No, he just
No,
wanted
he
more money.
didn't.
No,
He
didn't
wanted
get the
money and they
term.
didn't
He
pay
didn't get
him.
the term.
Oh, I didn't
That's-
know that. I thought he
like
actually wanted
4
to
mil
leave.
for 5 years, but they didn't want to do the term.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and now they're saying that they're willing to spend more money on a new coach when they had arguably the best coach in the league who had just won a cup, and they
Yeah.
just let him walk, and then they bring in Reardon because it's cheap. I mean, that's
I
really
mean,
seems like management problems more than Reardon.
honestly, like, yeah, Reardon's not a great coach, but they won the cup like 2 years ago. They can afford to have these first round exits, you know? They just like that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
my take on it.
I have no
Like,
sympathy for Washington.
exactly.
But-
Like, yeah, you exited first round 2 years straight. Welcome to Leafs Nation. 5 years straight.
Barbecue Bruce is
5
also
years straight.
is another coach on there. I
Barbecue Bruce.
fucking barbecue sauce on his collar for like half a hockey game.
So who do you guys think they're gonna go after? Obviously, they probably want Gallant, but I feel like they won't get him.
I think they're gonna go. I think they're gonna go European or something like outside of the box.
Dude,
So
it's actually
not an NHL coach.
it's actually
No.
insane how like how few European coaches or like there's one GM, right? And the Finnish dude for Columbus. Like,
Kekalainen.
it actually is like a boys club. Like we just cycle through the same coaches in this league.
Yeah, there's like the same
Yeah,
like 40
holy fuck,
coaches
bro.
for 30 teams.
John Hines should have never been fucking hired for Nashville.
Yeah.
What an
That's
awful
another.
coach.
Laviolette's another guy who's gonna get hired soon. I
Dude,
guarantee it.
I really hope the Flames go after him.
Yeah, that's another thing. Have the Flames fired their coach yet? No, right?
No.
Do you think it will happen?
Honestly, I think it's 50-50. I don't think we're gonna trade Goudreau or anybody like that. We will probably not sign Brody. We need Cap to sign Mangiapane. But I think we're gonna fire Ward like halfway in the off season, whenever the fuck that is, and then we're gonna hopefully sign Laviolette. I think he'd fit well on that team.
Yeah, that would be a good fit, I think. So, like, in terms of teams who got eliminated, do you think any of those other teams' coaches are at risk? Like, so we just talked about Calgary, we just talked about Washington. Montreal already announced Claude Julien staying around for next year. I think Tortorella's fairly safe. Like, I think Columbus is pretty happy that they're even making the playoffs with that team. What do you guys think about like Talkett in Arizona?
Yeah, I don't think any of the coaches are. Another point we could talk about is Pietrangelo, big free agent that's coming up.
Oh, that is something good.
I think he's as good as gone, bro.
Yeah, he's gone.
I forgot what his comments were today, but it just seemed like he's like done. I have no idea where he would go though.
Dude, no one's gonna have cap space because the cap
It's
won't
flat.
go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. So you almost need to like get off a bunch of pieces. Like I wonder if Toronto like honestly might trade like Nylander and somebody else to make cap for him.
Really, like they shouldn't. Like as much as Pietrangelo is an amazing defenseman, like dude, they just like shouldn't go after. Like that's what Toronto did for like those like 10 years that they missed the playoffs. They would just like trade away draft picks to try to get like the biggest names, and then like just would never work out.
It'd be
those guys
Tavares
are
all
already-
over it again.
What?
It'd be just Tavares on the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it would be like exactly like Tavares. Like they would just trade away like guys they trade away picks and prospects to get like Joffrey Lupul, Phil Kessel, David Clarkson. Shockers. That shit never worked. I think trading away everything to try to get a free agent almost never works out. I think free agency in general almost never works out. Like how many free agent signings, like big signings, led to a team's like success? Honestly, like very few in my opinion.
The one
Yeah, I
know is
totally agree.
Marian Hossa for Chicago.
Yeah. Then he died.
Well, I don't
And no, I think St. Louis is going to keep Pietrangelo, though, to be honest.
Yo, Hank.
What?
Why you gotta be so mean?
He's not
No, I
dead,
mean,
bro.
he died on the ice.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Right. What was that? A 41 game suspension for Torres?
Dude, Rafi Torres has got to be like one of the best players in Canucks history.
I was
Honestly,
about to say.
legend.
He scored the game winner in Game 2 against Boston. Or Game 1? Was
Exactly.
it Game 1? I think
No, it
Game
was
1.
game 1.
Or
Bros
was
got
his
the
Game 2. Yeah.
Great
The
goal.
wraparound.
Yeah. But what about who's another free agent? Taylor Hall?
Braden Holtby. Dude, he had an awful year. But,
Yeah.
Like,
Couple
Dude,
of
Hope he's old, man. He's like what, 35?
Yeah, I think he's on a fast decline, to be honest.
he's going to be like the next Bobrovsky.
Yeah.
Yeah, except
overpay.
he's only
Taylor
30.
Hall.
I
Taylor Hall
totally
back
forgot
to
about
Edmonton.
Taylor Hall. Holy shit. I have no idea where this guy could end up.
Bro,
Dude.
Oilers fans want him back so badly.
They can't.
They
Get him.
literally can't. They don't have the space, and you'd have to give up more defensemen.
Yeah. It's,
I don't even know.
I don't
Who
think he
even
goes
has
there.
cap space? I'm so uninformed on this stuff.
Dude, the Coyotes and like Carolina.
No, Coyotes have none.
Yeah, but they have a bunch of like they have a fuck ton of free agents that they're just gonna unload.
Yeah, no, they can make the room, but like I don't think I wouldn't go back if I'm Taylor Hall. I don't know what he's
Yeah.
thinking.
Dude, I don't think that team wants him. Well, especially if they're gonna keep Talkett. Like he's not a fit. He didn't play well at all once he went there. Like, obviously he's a great player, and I'm not gonna deny that. But if they're gonna keep Talkett, which I think they are, it was pretty clear that Talkett's like coaching style and Taylor Hall's playing style like did not fit together very well because his like stats just took like a huge dip once he went there.
Quick cap friendly. The teams with the most cap space are Devils, Ottawa, the Kings, Colorado, Columbus, Montreal. So clearly those first three don't need a fucking big ticket free agent.
Taylor
Um,
Hall to the
I
Sens.
see a lot of people saying they want Colorado to go after Holtby or Hall.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Why would
for
they
them.
get Holtby though? That's kind of weird. They have
Just
like
because like Grubauer isn't like that great, and also like they always get Washington's like used up goalies anyways. Varlamov and Grubauer.
But I mean, they have a young guy. That's another thing. Grubauer's hurt right now,
Oh, the groin injury.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
missing game 2.
He-
But I
he's like-
mean, Francouz or whatever is pretty good. So
yeah, he played a ton this year. Yo, Hank, I got a question. Why do you hate oh fuck, I just forgot his name. Who's 24 for the Lightning?
Bogosian?
Why do you hate Bogo?
I don't really hate him that much. He just might be the slowest man alive.
Bro, Perry is honestly
Perry's
so.
slow too.
Hey, did you see
Did you
that
guys see that?
breakaway? That was honestly like the worst skating I think of an NHL player in my entire life, bro. Holy shit. He
Dude, if I
can't
ever saw
skate.
Perry like in the public, I'd punch him in the face. I'm not joking. Mostly because I know he wouldn't press charges and he'd probably punch me back. And because I really do hate that guy. Dude, I hate Joe Pavelski. Why is that guy such a like why does he act so arrogant, man?
Yeah.
Oh, anyways, I'm
This is off topic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went like so
Joe
far. off topic.
Pavelski is
We're
arrogant.
going to the players we hate the most in the league too.
That's the next episode of PondCast, bro. That's the main discussion topic.
That's the cliffhanger. Okay, Ethan, you ending it?
Yeah, alright. Thank you for watching episode 4 of the podcast. Like and
We'll be
subscribe.
back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
for
This
round
is
3.
actually consistent now. We'll be back for round 3.
2 in a row.
We'll see you guys in the next episode.